How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm a big fan.
I like hearing that. I'm a big fan of yours as well, and now a big fan of the show. So I know that you are very into looking at Reddit and digging into the fan base response. So was there anything particular you took from the response to season one that we can actually now see you adding to Geralt in season two?
Yes, the biggest piece was I wanted to represent as much of a book accurate Geralt as possible, and it was, and a lot of the fans did as well. And so I campaigned really hard to make sure that he was more verbose. He sounded more intellectual. His choice of words was more thought out, and that his approach to Cirilla wasn't, and everyone else wasn't antagonistic, because it initially came across as he was just grumpy all the time with everyone and everything. And I really wanted to show this three-dimensional character where instead of him fighting with everyone, whether it be Cirilla or whether it be the witches, I wanted to show him be intellectual and thoughtful, and yes, have disagreements, but also show his approach of someone who's been alive for 70 plus years. He's not going to be a fool. And so when he's trying to draw information out of Ciri and find out what her story is and what she's about, he's not going to like push her into a corner and start shouting at her until she gives him information. He's going to tell a story of his own, for example, and then wait and see what she has to say. And if she doesn't say anything, then ask a question or tell another story until eventually she feels comfortable and she feels in the company of someone who has also been through traumatic experiences, so she can then share. And that was really, really important for me. So he wasn't just this two-dimensional grumpy snowman, and in fact he was a three-dimensional character. And it's going to be tough to do the stuff which is as brilliant as Sapkowski's writing, but it's something I'm always going to campaign for, and it's hopefully fit it into the vision of the show.
It's funny you say that, because one of my favorite parts of season one and your work is Geralt there, and now even more so in season two, is, how you explore what it means to be a Witcher, that hardened exterior, but while letting just enough emotion slip through. So with everything you just said in mind, in this particular season, was there any specific moment where you found yourself workshopping or weighing that balance of Geralt's tough exterior and letting him express some degree of warmth the most?
I wanted to lean hard into the emotionality of Geralt this season, because we have the access point for it. We have him with his Witcher brothers, and also with someone who he's protecting. And so I wanted to show a lot more of it. And there's also another relationship which develops in a certain way as the season goes on. I think even you haven't seen that with only 6 episodes, but I really let as hard into it as possible, and especially with Vesemir and Kim Bodnia, and I worked very hard on trying to bring that emotional connection in, rather than just antagonistic men who are grumpy, living in the mountains, telling each other off for everything. We wanted to make it more about a brotherhood. And I've certainly found in my experience with people who are hardened warriors, and I know a few of them, they tend to be the most emotionally connected of us all. And it's something I really wanted to portray with these guys. And so it's difficult to name any one scene, but anything involving Vesemir and anything involving Cirilla, or indeed, there's a scene, I think it's in episode 6, might be 5 or 6, where we see him more emotional, and that was important to me to show that he does have these connections with the people and things that he loves.
I think I know what moment you're hinting at there. Before they kick me out of here, I did want to squeeze in one Superman question, because it's something that I think about a lot, because I'm one of the many who sits here and says, like, I want Henry to keep playing Superman. I want a Man of Steel to, like, I could say it all day long, but then I stop myself and I wonder, what do you get from returning to the role? What's something about your craft and your growth as an actor in general that you still think you have left to get from returning to that role?
I wouldn't say it's about the craft or me as an actor. I'd say it's about, it is personal to a degree, but it's as much as I felt like Man of Steel was a wonderful opening story, an origin story to Superman. It left a lot of space for him to grow beyond that and become the hero that we recognize. Batman v Superman took a hard turn down a darker route, and it was a Batman perspective story. And so it didn't really show the aspects of Superman, which I was very, very keen to show. Justice League Snyder Cut definitely lent into that a bit more. I had a bit more of a gentleness to the tone of the thing. But I would love to have the opportunity to play the Superman that we all know and love from the comics as a continuation of his development, and we see the hero. That would be really, really exciting for me because there is an opportunity to tell a lot of interesting story there. It's just about finding the right hooks to have a character that is as good and idealistic as Superman. There are wonderful opportunities to delve into what it's like to exist as him, and those hardships that come with that. When you have to save everyone, how hard is that on you? And that could be an interesting line to run.
I will take that. I'll take anything you want to do. You always deliver. I love The Witcher. Huge congratulations on season 2.
Thank you very much. Thank you.